Welcome back to the Vera House podcast. On today's episode, we welcome Aspen DeRosa, a creative Richmond entrepreneur, socialite, and connector of all things and all people. Recent winner of Style Weekly's 40 Under 40 award, they're a mega talented professional photographer who has shot some of the most iconic people, bands, and festivals in RVA. They're even a teacher at the Visual Arts Center of Richmond, where they teach on a variety of topics, including photo and creative direction. Founder of Riffs and Recovery, a weekly meeting of the minds of lovers of music who are all on a path to sobriety. Their motto is "The juice is always worth the squeeze." Welcome to the show, Aspen DeRosa.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for being here. So tell us about Style Weekly and 40 Under 40. Was the juice worth the squeeze?
The juice is always worth the squeeze.
What was that like? How did that unfold?
It was really cool. I was nominated for Riffs and Recovery, and it was really just an honor to be recognized among so many of Richmond's most talented people. It was just really cool to meet everybody and be recognized in that way.
So what was the experience like? Like, when did you find out? How did you find out? Like, how did it all kind of unfold?
Yeah, so they sent an email to me and Matt, the co-founder of Riffs, share an email. And they sent us an email saying that we had both been nominated. Matt had just turned 40. So we were like, no.
No longer qualified.
I know. So when we were joking, we were like, Unc, gotta get you in the not. But so I was nominated. So me and him went together to the party. But first they told us in, I think it was September. And then I did my photo that month as well with Scott Elmquist, who's a legend in the area. And then the party was in November. And then it dropped into physical copies then as well. And it was cool to see, to get to do the interview process and talk a little bit about Riffs and how it started was really fun. We've done a little bit of press before, but it was cool to see something in a physical media because I love to see it physically printed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun to meet everybody. And the event that they had was really cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is there a 50 under 50? I guess the older, imagine there's a 100 under 100 and it's just a big old geezer party.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Yeah, because
y'all would be number one.
It's always 30 under 30, 40 under 40. Where's the 50 under 50?
Yeah.
Where's the 60 under 60?
I'm saying, because
let's just keep it going.
people do cool stuff at all ages.
I want an award too.
Yeah. And y'all deserve an award.
Yeah. Hey, I could make 40 under 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no one knows who I am yet.
Yet.
Yeah. We're working on that. That's kind of
style.
Yeah.
One day I'll make it big, Mom.
You're almost there.
Yeah. So I've noticed just looking through your account and your website and some of the pictures you've done, you have a really unique style. Personal fan of that style and the way that your kind of your vision for how to showcase people is displayed with all of your promo and all of the photos that you've done. How would you describe that style?
Thank you. First of all, I would describe my style as, I would say, vibrant and energized. I like to try to capture people when they don't feel the stiffness of being in front of a camera. I often think about how invasive a camera can be in somebody's face and how anxiety provoking it can be to be photographed and seen in that way. Because technically, aren't our brains not even supposed to see ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
We're not even supposed to see ourselves regularly. So now with social media, I think the pressure to accept the way we look is a lot higher. And people want to display the things that they're doing and the versions of themselves that they are. So I try to kind of get people to a place where they feel like they can express themselves authentically. And a lot of my stuff has a lot of movement. I like to capture kind of in between moments of people's lives or experiences. So if it's an event and people are dancing, I'm on that dance floor dancing with my camera, and it's just fun. Yes, I try to just capture the authenticity behind who people really are.
That's awesome. And I mean, it matches perfectly why, we wanted to connect with you, because I do think that translates through social media and through the screen. I think at first glance, very easy to tell that you're a creative person, that you have a fun personality, that you're a talented photographer, and that you have a lot of great things going for you. And it takes a certain personality type to get the person on the other side of the camera to kind of open up and feel comfortable. And we experience a little bit of that, of course, having people on the podcast as well. It's kind of a similar process. So can definitely relate in some way or another and understand what you mean. And it's true. It's where we're living in a world where we're forced to think about the impression that we make on other people because it's such a big part of our life, right? Like photos, social media, being on video, all these different things. And yeah, it is something that not everybody's comfortable with.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I mean, to jump in there. Curious, just kind of on that point, you know, it takes the type of person to make people feel comfortable in front of the camera because you know yourself that it can be uncomfortable. So there's some empathy there. There's some, you know, consideration about how that person may be perceiving the situation that they're in, the set, the cameras, the lights, and then the final product. They're probably worried or anxious about what the photos are going to look like, how they are going to be perceived by other people. That's really the biggest concern. How do you handle that scenario? Like when you're on the other side of the camera? So, you know, you could have that empathy, but I would imagine it came from experience.
Well, absolutely. I think I'm a firm believer that anyone doing portrait photography should have experience on the other side of the lens, just to know how it feels to have a camera in your face. And then with that, through doing my own experiences with modeling, silence is really scary when you're being photographed and not seeing the process as it's happening. So some photographers, they're like, click, click. All right, thank you. Which is, everybody has their own workflow, but I really like to make it a collaborative experience. And I'm also really sensitive to the language around photography. Like I think take a photo is kind of shoot, very violent language. So I try to, and when I teach this, I also say like, it's a collaborative experience. So can I make a portrait with you versus can I take a photo of you? Because it's just like, let me take your soul. I'm like, no, let's make something together. This is, if you're in my photo, what makes the photo good is the fact that you are in it. So I want you to feel a part of that collaboration.
I love that. Yeah. I don't know a ton about photography. You know, I know a little bit from just being around cameras and stuff, but I do know, you know, I talk a lot about content creation and speaking on camera and public speaking. And it's very similar where you say you're kind of teaching people not to speak at people, but to speak with them, you know, and it's, yeah, definitely draws a parallel.
Yeah.
So the first time we came across you, we've spoken about you on the show before. Is you made an appearance during a segment where we talked about the Richmond boyfriend photo boot camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did it go? What is it? And who was like the standout all-star? Did we have any boyfriends like really step their game up?
Well, first of all, it was really fun. I think the funniest thing was me set up at Scuffletown Park with my sign and people walking by and they're like, what the heliante is this? I'm like, listen, I've heard too many divas complain about being done so wrong by their partner. And I think like nothing sucks more than when you're like, babe, can you take a picture of me? And then you're like, why is it chopped?
Yeah.
Like, this is not good. And I think also like a lot of boyfriends that I've witnessed don't think to just take a photo of their partner. And I think that's something that can, in this day and age when like you want to feel seen and photos are a way to do that, it can just make people feel really good if you're just like, you just look cute, so I'm just going to take a pic.
Yeah.
So I'm putting them on game, but also helping like, I think it's like a intimacy building exercise to be photographing each other. But it went well. Some people didn't make it at the last minute. So it was a smaller turnout than I expected, but it was a really good like trial run. I had my megaphone, I had my full outfit, I had a whistle, I had a playlist, and the people definitely improved throughout the boot camp.
Hell yeah.
Like from the baseline analysis tests that I conducted at the start to the end, we made some severe progress.
Nice.
That was cool.
Yeah. So the boyfriends were out there showing up,
In full
trying
force.
to improve.
Honey, they were sweating.
Yeah.
I said, drop and give me 20 pics now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good that, yeah, you gave it a run through too, because the reason we talked about it on the show is because we're like, well, what is it? Right. And I'm sure other people have that same question too. So now that you've kind of given it a rep, now you have an example of like, this is what it is. And, you know, I think the thing that stops people from showing up to events is that they don't know what to expect.
Exactly.
Now they can see and have some expectations around it. And yeah, take two will be even bigger and better, I'm sure.
I'm hyped for take two.
Yeah.
And I also had someone there doing content creation to
Nice.
get a little bit of like, this is what it actually looks like. So I actually forgot to finish editing that content.
Dang.
So I should probably
Put it in the note.
add it to my menu of the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that we got that experience and then it was like a smaller turnout so I could really focus on, okay, for the future iterations of this. And that's kind of what teaching is like when I'm developing curriculum for things like we got to start somewhere. And then I'm like, okay, wait, I'm learning a lot through teaching this to you. What needs a little bit of extra time versus what can kind of be breezed through.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said, curriculum and teaching. You're an educator as well.
Mhm.
So you teach a myriad of things.
Yes.
You mentioned you're at the Viz Arts Center. What are you teaching over there?
So currently I'm teaching a capturing authenticity portrait class, which is all about kind of directing your subjects and helping them open up in front of the camera, as well as like portrait basics.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also teaching a making music videos class. That one's new. I'm teaching basic intro to photography class for beginners. And what's the last one? I think it's just a portrait class.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a couple of one-day workshops. So those are all multi-week classes. And then I have a couple of one-day workshops for portrait photography and lighting. So I try to offer a variety of different photographic related classes that are in like different time spans. So if people just want to do a quick sprint on a Saturday with me, 10 to 4, let's run it. But then also the multi-week option for people as well. For people that needs to like sink in a little bit longer.
Yeah. That's super cool. Like just
Thanks.
being an educator is, I think, something that I will eventually get into because I like the act of teaching somebody something that they didn't already know, or that they're involved in, or kind of know a little bit about it, or know a lot about it, but then it being able to teach them something that they didn't already like know about this subject matter. And, for me, school wasn't my strong suit growing up. Visual learner, tactile learner, didn't like math, didn't like the class structure, but I liked learning things. I liked absorbing knowledge just, in an unconventional way. So anyone who's an educator, I already commend just for the act of being willing to teach people, because it can be a little, tough, I'm sure, but there's a lot of fulfillment in it, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the Visual Arts Center because it's a non-degree seeking educational opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I used to teach at University of Iowa when I was getting my master's degree. And that was undergraduate students who are burnt out and like they're seeking this degree. So a lot of it's just like, let me fulfill this assignment versus I'm just doing this because I want to learn something. And I also just love watching people have their light bulb moments. And I learn a lot through what gives people their light bulb moment. Like explaining how to use a camera to someone who's never used one is so confusing. Like, okay, so imagine it's like an eye, like it's this whole but watching that moment of when they're like, wait, I finally get it. And the confidence that comes from learning is just really fulfilling to me.
That's cool. I've been using cameras for like 12 years and I still haven't had that moment. I'm like, I don't know, man. Can you help me out?
That's real, honey. They're confusing tools.
Yeah, I have my settings and I'm just like, all right, don't change it. Just leave it
just
how it
put
is.
it on auto.
Real, set it and forget it. Like,
Yeah, that's totally me.
Yeah.
So when was the first time that you like picked up a camera and it kind of clicked for you and you realized that you had a future that involved cameras?
well, lore drop. I started taking photos when I was 4.
Wow.
So my uncle was a photographer. He was like into photography, and he let me use like a film camera of his. And when they got the photos developed, I guess my mom was like, this is actually kind of good. Like some of these are actually funny and cute. So they let me use a Polaroid camera once, which at 4 years old, I mean, developmentally wasn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
So they got me a Fisher Price film camera. It's like 2 handles. I still have it. It's really cutie. And it was like my favorite toy. So from there, I just started, as I grew up, my dad had like a DSLR camera, let me start playing with that when I was in middle school. And I would always just photograph my brothers. I was really drawn to photographing people from an early age. And if people weren't available, then I'd like put my Barbies together and be like, all right, girls, like this is your moment. And then in high school, I started taking all the photo classes possible. So we had regular photo class, and then it was called Academy. So they'd bus us to a different school. And I did like a studio lighting class. And it was my junior and senior year photo teacher, Miss Mattis. If you're watching this, I love you. She was like, you should go to art school. Like, I think you actually could be a photographer. And at that point, I was like, I don't really think, like, how would I have a career in photography? Like, at that point, I wanted to be a therapist because I'm also interested in the brain and like neuroscience and psychology. But the concept of making money and a career in photography was like, seemed impossible. She helped me make my whole portfolio to go to school. She was like, these are the photos you should include. Write your essay, I'll review it. And then when I got into VCU, I was like, oh, wait, maybe I could actually be a photographer. So then went to undergrad at VCU, went to grad school in Iowa. And at that point I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like I've studied this. I understand this. Like I'm quick with it. I have the personality. Like I want to just send it.
It's so cool learning about you because you mentioned this word, like when I asked you, like, tell me about who you are. You said multifaceted. And yeah, clearly that's true, right? What was your master's in?
Photography and sculpture.
Cool. Oh, yeah, that's right. You mentioned sculpture.
Yeah.
Doesn't VCU have like a great sculpture program or they're known for sculpture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to take some of the sculpture classes at VCU. And that's where bevel cut came from.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. Man, we're connected.
We're learning all kinds of stuff today.
That's so cool. Do they also teach like, so you learn sculpture in school as well?
Yeah.
Do they teach like the history of all that? Like, you know, Michelangelo and like all that cool stuff? Like, do they teach like the history, like going back?
It's the history buff right here.
Oh, I had to take a lot of art history classes.
That's
for
cool.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very interesting. I took, some like niche ones. Like I took like gender and sexuality in art in Renaissance period in grad school. That was a really cool class. Yeah. So a lot of history, but with sculpture stuff, like the classes at VCU, it was less extensive because it was like my minor. So I would take a couple of credits in that. But then in grad school, I got to take like site-specific installations, a class about like recycling materials in sculpture. And that was when I really like learned a lot of the skills that I still want to reintegrate into my practice now.
Yeah, that is cool. I could totally go off on a tangent about like old Egyptian sculptures, but
Yep.
but I won't.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, he will.
Yeah.
He will go off.
Yeah. I started on a path to art school. Like I took AP art in high school. I took photography class. I took graphic design. Yeah. And all I ended up was just being a guy wearing a turtleneck. So, you know.
But you got a chain.
True.
So
True.
It's very artsy chain.
by transitive property, you could be a sculptor.
I'm like a fake artist,
Yeah.
you know. Some would say. Some
Right,
would call me a
right.
fake artist. Yeah.
I think you're a real artist.
Thank you. Thank you. Respect.
Anytime.
Love it.
So how did you determine like a lane, you know? And I mean, you're in many lanes, right? But,
Mhm.
you know, are you still involved in sculpture or like?
So it is something that I've had to put more on the back burner as I run my own business full time. And I have a lot of hobbies and interests. Like I like to work out. I like to box. I like to sing. I like to write music. I like to go for walks in the rain. Like there's just simply not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
Like, so I've had to kind of focus my lens, if you will, on photography for the time being. But as I was setting I do my new year on my birthday. So on my birthday, I was setting goals for the new year and I really want to get back into sculpture. So I set up my apartment so that I can do that because everything was just kind of stored away. And having my sewing machine like out and ready to go is like very key because a lot of my sculptures start with fabric and I like to work into like corners of rooms. But also a lot of my stuff with sculpture is like I'll have an idea and I'm like, what medium is this? So sometimes I'm learning the medium as I'm working on the sculpture. Like I did a project about grief in grad school and I was like, this all has to be beeswax because I want the smell to be an aspect of it and I want it to melt over time. So that's something that is like at the top priority, I would say, for this next year of my life. I'll be 30 next year. So in my last year of my 20s, I want to like tap back into everything that brought me joy throughout my 20s. And sculpture is like a big part of that.
That's cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
30s are the best.
30s, frontal lobe development and money.
Look at that. You already know. You already know.
That is a great way to describe your 30s.
The frontal lobe development is real. But yeah, 30s, man. That's looking back on my 30s, which was for the last 10 years.
More life.
Seriously, it was the most formative, the most informative, the most adventurous, and like the most, now that I look back and can like really reflect on it, the most growth in that amount of time. Like your 20s are great. You learn what you learn for the most part, and some of it sticks, some of it doesn't. You change your mind, you adopt some new things. In your 30s, what sticks usually starts to get cemented and kind of more concrete, and you kind of have more vision about what the future looks like, more money because you figured out what you want to do. And then, you know, as time goes on, there was a moment for me, I don't know if it happens for everybody else, but that moment of like, oh man, I grew up. I'm like, I'm more grown now. Like
Yeah.
'cause in your 20s, you don't really notice the time passing, and then you're getting older. You're like, oh yeah, my birthday. Let's have a party. 32 hits, 33 hits. You're like, oh, I grew up like a lot.
Mhm.
And I kind of can't do the things that I did 6 years ago or even 2 years ago. I need to like think about what being a grown up is, doing the grown up things, whether that's career, whether that's home life, relationships, what have you. But there was definitely a moment I'm like, shit, did I get older? Or like, no, I definitely grew up, and it was cool. It wasn't like a bad realization. It was like an eye opening, like, oh man, this is pretty tight. I think I like what's happening now.
I love that. I definitely try to reject the concept of like aging is negative and like, oh, like your 20s or like you're pushing 30. Like I'll hear that comment from like men sometimes. I'm like, I feel like 30 is the best time to be. Like
It is, yeah.
30s plus seems like, because 20s, I was like, what the hell is happening every single day?
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I'm broke.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
I'm like,
and it's, like, I think it's safe to say like we all do our best to not fit into like the standard normal box that society gives us. And I think age is, like, yes, age is a, biometric counter, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you choose to accept like, oh, I'm an old fart or not, it's like there'll always be like a childish aspect to me. And it's like the longer I can stay a kid and keep that like imagination and creativity, the better.
yes.
And so, yeah, it's like, hang on to all that throughout your 30s, 40s, 60s, whatever,
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. That's the vibe. That's the plan.
That's the type shit that we are on.
Yeah.
100%.
We're going to be those old guys, women, people that still kind of dress the way we dress now. I feel like this is the generation that's going to have like the most swag in the 60s and 70s.
Definitely.
And like, I mean, I'm already confident of the childlike nature of like just the stuff that I like to do. I think I've heard this from a few people, but people in their 60s and their 70s and their 80s, when you ask them how old they are or how old they feel, rather, they say they feel like 20 years younger. But then they also say that I remember, like, I feel like I'm 30, but like I have, I'm slower to get around. It takes me a little time to do some certain things. I can't think as quick. I'm not a, fly on my toes or whatever, but they still feel like they are, in their 30s or in their late 20s. Because I feel like emotionally and spiritually and mentally, you become the fully formed version of yourself when you're in your adolescent years. And then your body just gets older. Like you can say that I'm aging, but that's just the physical manifestation of time passing. You, the fully formed, fully visualized version of yourself is pretty much like as it is. The childlike, the imagination, the wonder, the interest in all these different hobbies and things that's never going away. You're just going to, probably it's going to be harder for you to go to the bathroom in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that idea because I think like, hopefully living a long life, there's so much like time to explore different things and there's no rush, but at the same time, like the core of who you are is the same. Sorry, I keep hitting this thing.
That's all right.
Good.
But like, I'm like, I want to learn drums at some point, but I want to learn drums when I'm like 60,
Yeah.
like,
There you
I just
go.
think that'd be sick.
Yeah.
That would be sick. Well, speaking of like all this childish stuff, which is awesome. We had a great time today.
Yeah, today was fun.
Like having a lot of fun. And it connects to what we said earlier about, having the right person behind the camera is what can allow the person on the other side of the lens to, open up, be themselves, have fun, be carefree, not overthink about like, what do I look like? And, all this other stuff. And so for anybody listening, we just spent, like a few hours. A few hours hanging out with Aspen. She took some amazing photographs of us, which I'm sure you'll see at some point. And it was fun, and I think like I've had my photo taken a bunch, but not in this sort of like fun, intentional, creative style. And I think it's exactly why we reached out to you. Yeah. It was a blast. And you bring out like that childish side a little bit and have fun with it. Cause it's like, nobody likes a stiff upper lip LinkedIn headshot. It's like, that's lame, and has a time and a place. Right.
Yeah.
But, as creative people, we wanted another creative soul to come and hang out with us. And like, we don't even have to say anything. You just get it. And we can't thank you enough. We're super grateful for like your skills and your time and just hanging out with us and like having fun with it. So that was super cool. You. Hopefully you enjoyed it and had fun too.
I had a blast. We had this man upside down in a chair.
Facts.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to do like an upside down episode of the podcast.
That's got to be the move.
Yeah.
For the April Fool's episode.
That'll be a good idea. So April Fool's this year, you'll see us upside down in the chair. We'll have to mount the microphones upside down and everything.
Hey, we can do that. We can handle it.
I mean, every other crazy idea we've come up with, we've done so far. So
sky's the
Let's add it to
freaking
the
limit.
list.
yeah, we can't not do the upside down world. That would be a good one. But yeah, so what are your favorite types of, assignments or shoots that you find yourself working and you think like, it doesn't even feel like I'm working. Like, this is fun. I'm having a blast. I would do this every day if I could. Like, what types of shoots are those, or what does that look like?
Ooh, I would say concerts and events are probably, and portraits with creative people. But particularly events where I just get to be a fly on the wall and like witness people enjoying their lives and not stressed and just like dancing and being in community with each other. I'm kind of a crybaby in that when I see that, I'm like crying every single time. Like anytime I'm shooting at the National, if I'm shooting a event like a birthday party, wedding, like I'm crying because I'm just like, finally people get a moment to like relax and just enjoy their lives. And I'm just here to document it. And I like, as someone that likes to capture movement and motion, people not posing is really refreshing because they're not as focused about, once they like get used to me being there, they're not really focused about where I am. And I enjoy just being able to kind of float around and do what I need to do. But then working with other artists or creative people on like personal branding, like stuff like we did today, cover art for people, music videos, like anything where I get to really collaborate with an artist and they're trusting me and my creative vision. It just is really fun. It doesn't feel like work at all. Like every single day I truly wake up and I'm like, wow, I get to do this as my job. Like this is what 4-year-old Aspen was like. That's not even what? Well, what's a job? Like, let alone being a photographer.
Yeah.
So it's really fun every day. Even the things that are like, oh, I need to do a headshot. Even that's fun because I'm like, I get to take your headshot. Like, it's just an honor every time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all fun. But concerts it's fun. I be dancing around with my camera.
I feel like some of the best photographers are the ones that have like the emotional intelligence to spot those moments, So considering, not that you said you were an empath, but like if you have that feeling and that's kind of like how you are, then you probably spot those moments, right? Because it's like you see it and then you're like, that's the moment, or that's the shot, or that's the thing. It helps you capture that.
You were even saying while we were shooting a minute ago, you were like, I was, making a pose and you had the camera and you were like, it's like you're reading my mind.
Yeah.
I know, like you're just doing the moves and that's what I wanted to happen. And we're like synced up.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's bang on.
Yeah, it's like we enter like flow state together. Yeah. And I think definitely being like a super sensitive person makes photography, like I understand the weight of an image really intensely. And so I like want to do those moments justice. And it's actually crazy, especially being sober as a photographer at shows. Like I'll be like, oh, I need to move over to this side of the venue for some reason. And then like they're doing something crazy right there. And it's just, I'm always in the right place at the right time. And I think a lot of that is like being sensitive and trusting my intuition, but also being sober and able to hear that intuition.
Mm.
That is a big part of it. And I think like understanding the weight of a photo is everything. And it takes, and I wouldn't know because I'm not a photographer, but like my understanding of it or my like thought about it is that it takes two in a way. Mm-hmm. Like, you need the other person on the other side to like in some sense feel the weight too, because you want them to like be in it and be there. And you want them to be like free and carefree. But I guess what I'm saying is when I was thinking about photos today and coming into it, at least me, I think ahead and I think, man, it'll be so cool to like look back at photos of when we started this project, and it's like, imagine being 50 years old and you look back and it's like, dude, I remember that day.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you did that on purpose. It's not, and don't get me wrong, candid photos are great too, but it's like, it's fun to say, this is a moment in time that you're capturing. And like, you went out of your way to say, I'm going to express myself and like show my style and my expression and my mood and like just capture and document that moment in time. And I do think that's why you have celebrities that go and do like, a specific photo shoot for Vogue or Time magazine or something. And they end up being like iconic photos that you just like remember forever. And you got to imagine that they feel the same way looking back at those photos. Like they remember being there. They remember like where they were at in their life at that time. So yeah, I think if you got the right people to tango, like a photo can be really, really meaningful.
Oh, absolutely. And I think a lot also, a part of, I think, the emotional aspect of the honor of photographing people is knowing that I could, first of all, take their favorite photo of them, but also a photo that tells their story beyond their own life. Like when I was 2020, one of my best friends passed away. And at her funeral, a photo that I took of her was distributed to everybody.
Wow.
And to see that, like, first of all, a lot of people that kind of knew her or wanted to come and pay respects, like that's the photo they have of her. And to be able to take a photo of someone that means so much to me, that is the image that people look at when they think of her life, is like, that was the first time where I was like, wow, like this is beyond just like, haha, like look how cute you look. Like this is like real shit.
Wow.
So I think about that when I take a photo of anybody. I'm like, this could be like the photo that like paints the picture of their life. And that's like such an honor.
Yeah.
Jeez, that gives me chills like
That's
thinking about it, to be honest.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Because
like this encompasses their spirit enough for this to be the photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned it when you just were kind of leading up to that story, like the honor of being able to take that picture. Because you might take the picture that changes someone's perception of who they are. And that change is irrevocable. I mean, that can set a new benchmark for them personally or professionally and emotionally and spiritually and all of that. And, it's a job, sure. That comes with what it means to have this job and this profession. But it is an honor because the word capture is right in the description for being a photographer. You're capturing these moments. You're capturing somebody in a moment as they exist at that point in time. And the way you do that can change how they see themselves, how the world sees them. So you do have a lot of, it takes a lot of awareness, but it is an honor to be able to do that for people.
Yeah. And it also, I think, can breathe a lot of life into people's ideas and projects, which has this like ripple effect of their art. Because like for an artist needing cover art, they see the photo and they're like, wow, wait, this like fits the song so well. Now I believe in this song in a way that I didn't before without being able to see it. Or like personal branding, like, oh, now we have photos for whatever it is. And it's just, yeah, it's cool to be able to have a part in helping other artists like bring their art forward.
That is really cool. So you mentioned other artists, right? So do you find yourself, are there specific pieces of advice that you find yourself often repeating when you're teaching new photographers or photographers that are trying to like improve their career? Do you find yourself revisiting certain pieces of advice or certain like topics?
I feel like it depends because certain people come to me for different types of advice. Like some people want like the business side of it, like how do I make my contract? But other people are more focused on how do I get people to open up in front of the camera? And I always I feel like one of the most common things I'll suggest is like, you want to match the energy of the person that you're photographing. So, but also if someone's really shy, it might benefit them to spend more time building rapport. So it kind of is like, you really have to feel out the vibe. Like I lead a lot with feeling and I kind of adjust myself as needed. Like if someone's having a really heavy day or it's like a really heavy shoot, like I did a photo for someone whose birthday it was. And they were like, I'm trying to like come into my body as like a person like in their 30s. Like I'm trying to reclaim my body. And so that was like a really celebratory shoot where I'm like, I'm going to get you some flowers and we're going to celebrate the fact that you're like having this huge moment in your life. And, so I feel like just matching the energy of the people. And also I suggest like having a little pre-shoot thing that you'll say or like letting people know like it might feel weird in your body, but it looks great on camera and then showing them like, see, no, didn't that feel weird? But look at how it looks like. Yeah. I think just keeping people involved in the collaboration process is like probably the most important thing.
Yeah. It's everything that we just said, right? Like even being upside down in the chair with some silly glasses on, right? Like if you were just by yourself, I'd be looking in the mirror. I'd be like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're there with the camera and you're like, you're coaching and you're encouraging people, encouraging the silliness and the goofy atmosphere of the shoot. And that opens up, another aspect of how your subject or like us or anybody you're shooting maybe feels about the shoot itself and feels about what the outcome could be. It's like maybe they went into it with a little reservation. They're like, oh, not really feeling that great about it. I don't think I like this shirt. And then you're like, oh yeah, you're killing it. And then you're getting goofy with it, and the walls come down, and then they're upside down with glasses on.
Yeah.
And that's how you get the best photo of their life.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
I mean, it was so much fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
So
I had fun too. Y'all are really fun to work with.
Yeah,
Yes, likewise.
Yeah. And I always joke that I'm like a hype man / photographer.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm going to gas you up.
Totally
Like,
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you started. You're like, put on some music. Does this hype you up? Is this juicy enough? Like, yeah, all right, I know what we're getting into now.
Yeah. Juice worth the squeeze. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Let's take a moment to thank today's sponsor. So today's episode is sponsored by Point 5, Richmond's first standalone alcohol-free beverage shop right here in Carytown. And of course, you're familiar with Point 5 as well.
Oh, yeah.
So Point 5 is not just for those who are sober and sober curious. It's for all of us who just want something different to sip on. They carry everything from non-alcoholic beers and wines to nootropic drinks built for focus and creativity, along with functional beverages like THC, CBD, kava, and other plant-based options for mood, relaxation, and energy. They also offer gluten-free and dairy-free options, including NA beers, wines, and functional spirits that work for a variety of dietary preferences. Visit verahouse.co/point5 for a 10% off voucher, and be sure to visit them right here in Carytown. That's verahouse.co/POINT and the number 5. Simply screenshot the voucher and use it at your next visit. So I know you've done plenty of collaborations with a lot of the people that we've also collaborated with, or that we've, supported or kind of just been in the same sphere, such as Celeste Farms and of course Point 5, many other things as well. But what are the types of collaborations that you've done, or how are you familiar with Point 5?
So I'm familiar with Point 5 because at Gallery 5, where we host Riffs and Recovery, they collaborated with us on our mocktail menu. So we have 3 options that include 0.5 NA spirits, and then 3 that have mother shrub, vinegar shrub mixtures. And the 3 with the 0.5 stuff, so divine. Like,
Nice.
Oh my God. We have a margarita, we have a lemon drop, and we have a jumping juniper, which she's just her own diva. Like, I don't know how to explain her, but they're really, really yummy. And Point 5 has just been so supportive in our mission, and Gallery 5 has been so supportive in our mission. And getting to collaborate with both of them to have this menu now be a part of the permanent menu. So it started off, it was just for our 1 month anniversary or our 1 year anniversary in July. And then Gallery 5 said, we want to bring this onto our menu full time. And Point 5 is how we're able to do that. So
that's
we love them. We love Point 5.
Yes.
NA
Likewise.
spirits, the NA margarita. Like we were talking earlier that it's really good. I'm a big fan of margaritas. And if it's anything like a real margarita, I'm sold. Like I'm in. And they're
That's
probably
the NA tequila right
they're
there.
probably using
Honey.
the Almave non-alcoholic tequila, Lewis Hamilton. It's the tequila guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's divine.
It's
like
delicious.
we actually got to go and probably have one as a crew,
Yeah.
because it's so delicious. Like, because margarita was like my favorite bev.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I missed when I got sober was like a margarita with a dip trio.
Yeah.
You mean I
Yes.
can't like
the chips, the dip.
sitting outside in
vibe.
the sun?
Yes.
Like, bruh, poolside margarita. But now you can still have that, and you don't have to worry about sacrificing your
I
sobriety.
mean, you
for
can
it.
have this at breakfast if you wanted to.
I'm
You want a
saying.
breakfast margarita, here you go.
Yeah.
YOLO. Today's young.
It's crazy how much the NA space has advanced in, like, even just the past couple years, but of course, compared to like 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was like nothing.
Yeah.
It was just exploded.
It was like Heineken Zero or
Yeah.
O'Doul's.
O'Doul's.
Yeah.
Water.
Oh,
Water.
Yeah.
Surely.
If you want another ginger ale? It's like, I've had 5. I'm good.
Yeah.
It was like, would you like another Sprite and grenadine, sir? It's like, no, thanks.
Like, I'm good on that, actually.
Yeah. But they're super supportive. We love them as well. They've been, a part of our journey, and all the beverages that anybody sees on this show are from Point 5.
Let's go.
And they're opening a new location in Williamsburg. So there'll be a new location opening in Williamsburg. And then they're also doing an event with Celeste Farms on the 31st. So people will have to take a look at that. It's they've partnered with Celeste, multiple times in the past, but it is a social tonics and dinner on January 31st.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Like my
people
two
will have to go
favorite
check that out.
places.
Yeah, like if you haven't been to Celeste Farms, you definitely need to go and check it out. And the Point Five collaboration with them is just another reason that it's going to be a vibe. Like the place is already great, but then having them like curate the cocktails is just going to take it up another notch. So
When is that?
maybe we'll find each other at this event.
I might have to link it at the Celeste Farms.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that is January 31st. And
Yeah, I'm there.
you can find that info on Celeste Farms and Point Five's Instagram. So talking about all the NA stuff and the sobriety stuff, tell us about Riffs and Recovery. So if someone has no idea what we're talking about or what that is, kind of fill them in on what is Riffs and Recovery.
Yeah. So Riffs and Recovery is a meeting for anybody that's on any path of sobriety to come and kind of discuss the difficulties and the wins that come with choosing to be sober in the music space specifically. So you could be an artist yourself. You could be working in a venue. Maybe you just like to go to concerts. Maybe you just like listening to music and you don't like going to concerts. It's kind of just a space where we have topic-based discussions that are around that general topic. So it kind of ranges. We'll talk about things like, how's your creative process changed since you got sober? Last week we talked about, what did we talk about last week? What we're focusing on in our lives. But it's for anybody on any path. So you can be sober curious. You can be fully sober. You can be maybe wanting to stop smoking cigarettes, but you still drink. So we're really open to everybody. And the inspo behind that was when I first got sober, I was in AA and I felt like the all or nothing mindset of like, if you do anything, you're gonna die. I'm like, well, wait a damn minute. Like alcohol is the problem for me. And at that point, like I had just been diagnosed with PTSD and my doctors were like, hey, bestie, like to sleep, you should probably like maybe smoke a little bit of weed sometimes. So when I told my sponsor that, they were like, oh, you're not sober. And I'm like, but a doctor told like, they're like, well, that's the addict within. And I'm like, okay, like I guess it is, but it wasn't really the problem. So we wanted to create a space that was really a harm reduction approach. Like if you come in and you're like, hey, bestie, I didn't drink for 5 years and I drank yesterday. We're like, thanks for pulling up. Like, why would we shame each other? If you're coming at 1 o'clock on a Monday, mid work day, you want to be here. I'm not going to be like, you're not even sober. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just want to be a safe space for people to come and just like, if you got something on your heart you need to let it out. If you want to celebrate something, let's rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's like opening a space for people and that with the motivating factor being you wanted it to be more inclusive than AA. And I think a lot of people, if they're sober curious or if they are sober and practicing or participating in sobriety, but maybe they don't want to go to a meeting because of that.
Yeah.
Because it's like the all or nothing like approach to it. And I think we've seen demonstrations or versions of this like, publicized documentaries and then in movies and media and whatnot. It's not attractive. It's not a good selling point. Right? If you're trying to be better, that's not your first thought. Is like AA seems like the punishment or like if you're at the bottom of your dip, your well, then that's where you wind up. Like it's
like sterile.
Right.
It feels like something to be ashamed of.
Right. And this, positioning it within the music space is, I think, a really good way to involve people that, I don't want to assume, but I do know I have some experience in the music space, but there is a lot of drug and alcohol use in the music space. Like, let's be clear about it. Most people know if you haven't participated in it, you have a pretty good idea just from what you've seen. And getting clean it's a great achievement for lots of people because the industry kind of perpetuates that lifestyle. It's like late night, long hours, no rest, perform at the highest capacity on days on end.
Drink
Cope
tickets.
with it however you can. Also, here's $1,000 worth of free booze and whatever else you want to have in the green room and however they do that. But, and I think we've seen examples of musicians or artists in their particular industry that are standout examples of, I chose to get sober and I chose to be better and I chose to get healthy, but they're like the exception. They're not the rule. Yeah. And like creating a space where none of that matters is like the first step to get people to be interested in doing it on their own. Right. That's how you kind of get the people that are self-motivated and attracted to it. So it doesn't feel like they should be shamed or there might be people there that are judging them for any number of reasons. I think it's dope. And
Thanks.
I hope it keeps growing.
Thanks. Yeah. And I think like part of what can be tricky is if you identify as an addict, which you don't have to come to Riffs and Recovery, you can just not want to drink or not want to do something. But part of the addict mind is like the lying and the keeping secrets. And I think while AA does have a lot of beneficial aspects to it, I think the structure of it can be beneficial to some people. But I think the all or nothing leads to people staying in that, like, I have to lie so that I don't lose my entire community that I've built. And I just don't think that's an effective solution to get sober and stay sober.
Yeah. Like, yeah, when there's no flexibility at all. Yeah, it does. It forces people into a corner to lie to themselves and to, the, whatever you call it, So this takes place at Gallery 5.
Yes.
So tell me about that. So it's every week, right?
Yes. Every Monday from 1 to 2. We have coffee brewed. Thank you, Sefton Coffee, for donating coffee to us every week.
Nice.
And the vibe, we put everything in a circle, all the chairs. We have our coffee. Sometimes I'll make some fresh pressed juice because gotta stay on brand. I love juice. And then we'll lead the topic. We kind of have like an intro statement so that if you've never been, you understand like kind of the intentions. And I try to take that time to kind of meditate the intention into the vibe of the room. Like I'm like, okay, like if you're coming in here, I want you to leave with a feeling of peace, or at least feel like you've gotten something out of it. And then we have guidelines that are on every chair just to kind of help people understand, like, you can share what's on your heart, but if you're going into triggering specifics, we might have to pause you because we want to make sure everybody feels safe here. And then I'll introduce the topic, and then I normally share first to kind of get the conversation going and kind of open up, like, so people understand how vulnerable they can be. So, and then we'll chat. And then after the meeting's done, people hang out and yap. And we have like a WhatsApp group chat so people can stay connected to each other, or plan extracurricular activities. Because a lot of people will come maybe looking for bandmates or wanting to just meet other people. And then it's cool because now when you go to a show, like the odds of bumping into someone that goes to Riffs are higher. So you'll be like, oh, thank God someone else sober is here. Like,
yeah.
And we're just really trying to fight against that whole like tortured artist that has to, like, it makes sense because getting on a stage and singing your heart out in front of a group of people is anxiety inducing. And what does alcohol do? Remove that anxiety. So it makes sense, but we're like, you can totally be empowered to do that without the help of any substance.
Yeah. And I know, like, my experience, it's right in that area of like flexibility, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I have ADHD and I'm an overindulger. But I don't think I fell into the camp of like addiction. I just very slowly made the decision of like, all right, I just don't think this is really benefiting me anymore. So I just stopped drinking, and like we talked about a little bit earlier, but the benefits to your life are huge. And yes, it's hard, but it's like, that's kind of the point, is like the thing that's on the other side of quitting is in most people's cases worth it. Right.
Yeah.
And, for example, if somebody does experience a lot of anxiety on stage and then they're using something like alcohol as a crutch, it's like, yeah, that's helpful. But how helpful would it be for you to overcome your anxiety? Right.
That part.
And it's like, no one said it was going to be easy. It's not. It's going to be the opposite. It's going to be very hard, but it's going to be worth it. Whereas like continuing to use a substance as a crutch, that's never going to get to the point where it was worth it. Right. It's going to do the opposite. So it's like both are hard.
Yeah.
Choose your hard, choose which one. And, of course, it takes like courage and discipline and frustration to choose to make the right choice. But I think in most people's experience, and maybe many of the people that go to the meeting would agree that are, maybe further along in their journey than others, that there are a lot of great things that have benefited their life from that choice, So that's cool that you get to hopefully hear some of those stories and some of those people share every week.
Yeah.
So why Monday?
Monday, start the week off strong.
Nice.
Like,
I like that.
We're just like, let's start off with some intention. It can really kind of propel forward the week and also give you something to think about and marinate on for the week ahead. And it's just, I don't know, Monday. We love.
Monday, middle of the day on a Monday. And I like how you said, if you're there, you want to be there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be anywhere on a Monday at 1 p.m. unless you were supposed to be, unless you wanted to be there, unless you're, got a court date.
Yeah. Like you're carving out that time. And some people, it's been cool to see people base their schedules around Riffs.
Yeah.
Because it's a part of their recovery journey.
Yeah.
And we
And
talk
maybe
a lot
helps
of
give them some structure too.
Structure. Yeah. I was just going to mention, the schedule is probably a big part of that.
Oh,
right?
and it's amazing for me and Matt as well, the co-host, because now Mondays are like recovery day. Like I go to the gym in the morning, I get ready for Riffs, like mentally, I host the meeting, and then afterwards I do like personal self-care. Like I try not to book things on Mondays.
It's like the opposite of what a Sunday would be for somebody who was drinking. Yeah. Sunday would usually be the day of rest, but it would also be like the hangover day.
Yeah.
And then Monday is like back to work. I got to dry out for a week, and then Friday comes around and I'm going to have happy hour, and then Saturday we're doing it, and then Sunday I'm in bed all day eating Chinese food, and then Monday it's like kind of dragging ass a little bit, but this kind of flips that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Monday, one, it's the start of the week for most people. If they have day jobs, they usually have to get up on Monday morning and go to work. But then you also put this for some people, it's a big part of their week or their month or this part of their life's journey, smack dab in the middle of the beginning of the productive week. And I think it's a good time to do that.
Thank you.
So one of the common threads amongst many of these things, right? So shooting photos or capturing photos.
Making photos.
Yes, making photos. Oh, yeah, because capture is not good either. Man, there's a lot of like...
It's such a violent language around photography.
What's going on in
I was
photo
shooting
land?
everybody, goddamn.
It's a conspiracy.
Okay. So making photos at concerts and events. Gallery 5 is also known as a music venue. Like obviously it's an art venue as well, many things, but music there. I know you're involved in this project called The Guild and the events and all these different things, right? So there's like music and shows that have this common thread through a lot of these things. So where does that come from? And, I would assume that you love and enjoy music, who doesn't, but yeah, where does your like the magnet to music come from?
I like that question. I would say music is such a universal language. Like even if you don't know what's being said, you know how it makes you feel. And I think music can be such a powerful tool to set a vibe or a mood for people. So when I'm photographing people, I like to ask them like, what makes you feel confident? And then I'll either make them a playlist or just kind of put on a general vibe. And that gets me hyped up, which by transitive property gets them hyped up. And yeah, I just think music is such a special tool. And I also like to sing. I feel like most connected to like myself when I'm singing. Because also just from a nervous system regulation standpoint, like humming and singing is really good to calm your nervous system. And dancing is really great for that as well. So I think music just feels like the total package. Like she's really everything.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it involves a lot of different things like physical motion, like vibration and singing. And that's
even if you
cool.
can't hear, you can still experience music. Like that is so special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the common thread too. I mean, for lots of people, it's sometimes the one thing they have in common, right? They may disagree with lots of different things. It may be that they don't disagree. It may be that they're just from different places, different backgrounds, ethnicities, languages, and cultures. And music is usually the universal language. And you don't have to agree on anything, but if it's good, it's good. And that's kind of where it ends, which I think is great.
Yeah. I've always been really sensitive to music too. Like I'll hear something and I'll get chills from certain things. And I think the common thread is also I'm just a sensitive ass bitch. Like, everything I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck? But yeah, I think like for something that you hear to be able to move your body to react is so crazy and cool.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the amphitheater? The new, the big amphitheater down by the river.
I don't have a media trained answer for this. I think we should have done. Okay, my biggest critique about the amphitheater: did we not use any type of sun tracker to see where the sun was going to be at what time of day when we built that thing? Because why the F word is it the sun lowering behind?
Yeah, what the flip?
I haven't been, so I didn't know that the sun was setting behind it.
The sun is setting freaking behind it.
Oh, that's silly.
And I'm like, from a photography standpoint, chopped. From a weather standpoint, chopped.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a good weather solution. And then when they were first open, they canceled like 5 shows off rip.
I do remember that. Yeah.
So I feel like the vision, cool vision, amphitheater in Richmond, execution and budget. Imagine the potholes. Imagine the tires we could have saved.
When we started talking about the amphitheater and these big projects in Richmond, I think I mentioned that there was arguments to that case. Money better spent elsewhere as far as infrastructure and community. Water.
Yeah.
Like pipeline, just get some better duct tape down there. Like they could have put the money elsewhere. And then to execute the amphitheater and then to get it, but just so close to being amazing and just not quite get it there.
Yeah.
It's a flop.
Yeah.
So
there,
far,
I said it.
I think there's space for it to improve, but I've been, and have you been?
Yes.
I've been, and it was a mediocre experience. It doesn't, I don't hate it, but yeah, it could have been executed better. It's far too expensive. It's far too expensive to be as quiet as it was.
Yeah.
You know, like when you go to an amphitheater, I mean, it's in the name, right? Amp.
It's
like,
booming.
It's like, amp it up. Dude.
Metro booming.
Yeah. It was not amped. Like it was not amped. It was not amphitheatering.
It wasn't theatering to its full potential.
It's in the name. Yeah. Amp it up.
Yeah, amp it up. You know, it was a bit quiet. The bathroom line was insane.
You told me a story about that.
Yeah. So the story goes,
it's so funny.
It's so silly. And it's a good thing for people to be aware of if they go. And this is, again, an example of something that like wasn't thought through, which is, and I don't know if the women's bathroom is like this, but the men's bathroom, it has an entrance and then it has an exit on the other side. And so I walked up to the restroom and I walked up to the entrance. There was like this huge line, like huge, the longest men's bathroom line I've ever seen.
Like longer than merch.
Longer than merch, like no joke, 15 times longer than the line for the women's restroom. And I'm like looking at it and I'm like, this doesn't compute. Like, what is even happening? And I'm sitting there looking at the line and me being me, I'm like, yeah, I'm not waiting in this line. So I just walk up because I'm like, something is wrong. Something's happening. So I walk up and I kind of look at the people in the front of the line and I just like walked right into the bathroom. So I just walk in front of them. I walk in and the whole bathroom's empty. There's like no one in there. And it's because there's an exit on the other side. So at some point, I guess the restroom was full. So then everyone started waiting in line and then all the people are leaving out the other side and not coming out the same way. So then people are just thinking that they're just waiting. So there's this huge line and no one's even in the bathroom.
That would send me so far out of orbit.
When he told me that, it was just, come on. Like this is a problem that could have easily been sorted out. Now it's easy to give them the amphitheater and like, you know, whoever drafted the design of the layout or whatever, it's easy to give them shit for it because, you know, it's new and people are still figuring it out, but that's a dumb problem to have. That's
just, divas.
Come on.
I've never seen it before. I've never seen that before. I was like, wow, that's wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like not even going to have somebody in there like ushering.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, none of that.
Yeah.
But, you know, anyway, but there's much better experiences to be had. Like Richmond is awesome. I'm glad that you're a part of it.
Me too. Glad y'all are a part of it.
Yeah, thank you. It was so great to like connect with you, get to know you a little bit. So if people want to get involved with you, your life, learn more about how to work with you as a photographer, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me a couple of places. Instagram, bevelcut_shoddy.
And that's SHAWTI.
Indeed.
Nailed it.
Yes, indeed. Shawty, not shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people call me Bevel as well, which I like.
Okay. It's a good nickname.
You know, Bev.
Yeah.
Why not?
Good.
I'm Jungle. This is Buddha.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. A little nickname. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were mega beefing before this, by the way.
True.
Yeah.
Just saying.
They're not supposed to know that.
Cut that out.
Yeah.
We'll edit it in post.
They can't know that we don't even get along in the slightest.
Right. Yeah. So
how
Instagram,
else? I know you have a website that we took a peek at.
Website is aspenderosa.com. You can email me, aspenderosastudio@gmail.com. And those are the main ways. And if you see me dancing around at a show, you should say hello.
Agreed.
There you go.
So we'll obviously see you at Butcher Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we'll see you there.
And I'll maybe see you at Guild After Dark tomorrow.
Yeah. So talk about that for a quick moment. So what is that?
Yeah. So I'm organizing and hosting and photographing this event. It's called Guild After Dark. It's at a new apartment complex called The Guild, which is managed by Steelhead Management. And essentially we wanted to create like a concert that is also like a hangout. So it's like an unplugged acoustic, almost Tiny Desk inspired kind of vibe. We're going to have some light refreshments, including NA options. Bingo is donating some food for us to use. We're going to be styled by Christina at Ohm Essentials, which is like one of my favorite stores. It's kind of like all my favorite things in one place that I know everyone else will love as well. So Hazel Grove is the performer. He's an amazing angel. I love him. Ray at Verify Sounds is donating an hour of studio time, so musicians can come and apply to that. The whole event's free. So we just wanted to create like a opportunity for creative people to meet each other, enjoy some music on a Thursday, start the weekend off strong, and vibe.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And is this a recurring thing? Like, will it happen? Will it happen again? Will it happen more?
It sure will.
Awesome.
We're going to be having more. So this is our first tester round. And so far, it's already feeling like it's going to be really great. So I'm excited to see how it all comes to fruition tomorrow. And then we have some other very, dare I say, juicy guests planned for the future as well.
Juicy
Very cool.
guests. Love it.
Yeah, we're excited to check it out.
Mhm.
And with Riffs and Recovery. So Mondays from 1
1 to 2
2.
p.m.
Okay.
And just show up.
Just pull up. Yeah, if you're like, I don't know if I should come.
Yeah.
Like, don't even worry about it. I promise you, as soon as you step foot through that door, I will be saying hello to you. So I really try to make sure that everybody feels greeted. If you've never been, you're coming in, you're like I can feel that, and I'm going to come up and say hello to you. So yeah, it's a good vibe. And you don't have to share. You can just come and be a fly on the wall and listen. You can leave early. You can come late. We have some people that will come literally 10 minutes before it ends. If you're coming at any point, I trust that you just want to be there. So I'm not going to be like, why are you late?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
it's
cool.
more thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
We just want you to show up.
Yeah.
It's flexible.
Love
Pull
it.
up.
That's cool.
It's
That's
low
cool.
stakes. It's real chill. We laugh. Sometimes we cry. We make jokes. It's a good vibe.
I'm a fan.
Love it.
Anything else that we didn't cover?
Has anyone told you guys today that you're goated?
Oh, I love that. You
Not
beat me
yet.
to it because I was going to say the same to you.
Yes.
First one to say it today.
Love it.
We're very grateful for you.
Yes.
You're an awesome person. It was so great to
Thank
meet
you.
you, spend some time with you. Thank you for making photos of us and helping us kind of express ourselves and share like our creativity and, our studio with you. And thanks so much for being a part of it and being on the show.
Of course. Thank you guys. You're both really awesome. And I had a really good time with you today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This podcast was recorded at Vera House Studios in Richmond, Virginia, and produced by Perry Young and Mike Metzger.